Hello, cultivators from around the world. Jordan River here, back with more GrowCast and FTF. Today we have, who do we have? Brett, Heart and Soil. You know him, you love him. We're here to talk about the Afghan punch line. That's a Afghan and Peruvian punch cross that Brett's going to get into and has a whole new line coming out. And we talk about the skunk hunt and we talk about terroir and all sorts of fun stuff. Very, very strong episode today, if I do say so myself. Before we get into it with Brett, got to shout out rimrockanalytical.com, our choice sex testing partners, and so much more. Code GrowCast gets you free shipping on your gender identification tests, as well as soil tests and plant tissue health tests. So much going on at rimrockanalytical.com. You got to go over there. You got to use code GrowCast for free shipping. Stop wasting time sex testing, people. It takes so much time to sex out those plants, so much soil and nutrients and space. If you have the test kits ready, you can sex them when they're seedlings. Wait for the first set of true leaves and snip a cotyledon. In a couple of days, you're going to get your test results back. Kill the males. Save the time. rimrockanalytical.com, code GrowCast. Also just wanted to shout out membership really quickly. Patreon.com/GrowCast, humming along. We're live every single Wednesday night with GrowCast TV, the greatest show in cannabis cultivation. Check out a free episode at growcastpodcast.com/GCTV. But there's so much more going on in membership there over at Patreon. We got the Discord helping growers in the chat, people sharing their successes, meeting friends. It is a positive space for people looking to focus on their cultivation. That's what is going on in GrowCast membership. It is the greatest. It's so much fun. So check it out at patreon.com/GrowCast. We're growing, people. We want you to grow along with us. All right, with that out of the way, let's get into it with Brett. Thank you for listening and enjoy the show. Hello, podcast listeners. You are now listening to GrowCast. I'm your host, Jordan River, and I want to thank you for tuning in again today. Before we get started, as always, I urge you, spread the show. Gromies who listen to GrowCast are cool, but those who turn their friend on the show, they're extra super special cool. I appreciate you guys spreading the show grassroots. Make sure to check out patreon.com/GrowCast for hundreds of hours of bonus content, including GrowCast TV episodes with today's guest. That's right. Good friend of the show. You know him. You love him. From Heart and Soil Project, we have Brett back on the line as our guest today. What's up, Brett? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Jordan. Thanks for having me on again.
Hell yeah, back on the show. We love it now. Again, for those of you who are part of membership, Brett has been coming on GrowCast TV. There was even an extra special Lost episode that Brett was on, but there's lots of good content up there, and Brett is just a very good friend of the GrowCast universe. He may even provide special deals, super secret deals for members. And we appreciate him for his mission and for being so generous with the GrowCast universe. So we appreciate you, man. Thank you, as always. And welcome to the show. Excited to talk about this awesome Afghan drop that you're doing and so much more.
Yeah, so I really appreciate you guys having me on again, like I said. And, it's easy to be so generous to a group like you guys. You've always been, nothing but nice and, supportive and growing the gear out. That's the main thing, right? So we appreciate you from our end, and we just want to keep you guys happy, keep you guys growing the gear, keep you guys, basically, pumped up for the next new line, which is what we're kind of talking about today. So our Afghan punch line is still in pre-order. It's officially dropping at the end of this month. We're going to start shipping out the pre-orders, and that's when it will be, official. But you can grab them now. Afghan punch is our Peruvian punch female keeper we found back in the early days of the testing. So it's called the Purple Nancy cut. If you're familiar, if you've been following long enough,
Right. Yep.
So yeah, the Purple Nancy cut is one of my favorites, and we took that cut and we put it in the breeding room with our Afghan Hindu Kush male when we did our line about a year ago now, and we found some pretty interesting females. We ended up breeding with 3 different females. One was super short in stature, purple, dense, really interesting indica expressions, from that one. And then the other 2 were kind of somewhere in between. All 3 had great color, but that one we found just to be super special. between all of the phenos we found and the males, it was hard to choose a winner. So we just knew that it was going to be something awesome to breed with. So we did an F2 of that. And then when we had that male in there, obviously we had to hit into a bunch of other stuff. So we'll kind of go down the line. Obviously the Afghan F2 is, stout, but also has some great vigor. We were kind of talking about that heirloom Afghan structure earlier when we were off the air. It's got vigor. It's got some meanness to it. The stems are super thick. It's really resistant to pests, disease, mildew, wind. I got a plant outside from that line. I haven't watered it. I haven't done anything to it but put it in the cage to keep the deer and the dogs away from it. And it made it through the spring, the summer. It made it through a snow a couple days ago. And it's still beasting. So that's kind of like those, when we talk about those heirloom Afghan genetics, that's kind of what we're talking about. We're trying to bring that vigor and that stout structure and that meanness is, like I like to say, serrated leaves, some really gassy notes, just a lot of resilience to these lines.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Before we get on to all these crosses and kind of go down this Afghan punchline drop, I do want to speak on that for just a second, because you were kind enough to set aside a couple of packs for me. The heirloom Afghan Kush, which I quickly passed on to Rich, and then the fresh-baked baklava, which I grew out myself. You won't see them on Instagram because Instagram takes down my bud pictures. Make sure you join the green list for free. It's our mailing list, and that's where I get to share pictures now. Fun times.
Poor Jordan came to share his own garden.
You know what? I'm going to tease this on this episode. I bet it will have already taken place before this episode airs. I'm going to start paying some artists to draw my buds and start picturing it. I'm not joking. I'm going to start paying some Upwork artists to paint my bud pictures so that I can post them on Instagram.
Like, this isn't an actual bud picture. It's artwork.
Isn't that brilliant? Right? They can't stop that, can they? I'm pretty sure.
We'll find out. That's awesome.
Anyways, man, I grew out the fresh baked baklava, which is the Afghan heirloom crossed with apple pie. Dude, this is one of my first forays into landrace genetics. I've never been much of a landrace grower. I am very finicky about, I kind of land in that riser rich category where the hotness usually takes over my garden. So this kind of half fire newer strain crossed with half heirloom was my perfect first foray into this realm. And man, I gotta say, I loved it. And I enjoyed it. I see that landrace vigor. I see how strong it is, how resistant it is. I see how big they get. They got quite big. I had to raise the light in my tent. And then what really amazed me, I do believe I got an Afghan leaner. I got some early apple terps and I got some good frost, presumably attributed to by the apple pie as well. But the level of exotic aromas, I know the word exotic gets thrown around a lot. I mean it in the truest sense of the definition. The level of complexity and the level of exotic aromas that came off of that landrace cross were exceptional. It smelled like black pepper and gas and permanent markers, and there were 3 or 4 undertones that would come and go, earthy notes or a little tiny bit of sweetness. Not every bud was exactly the same. I guess what I'm saying is, first of all, props for the cross, but also more than that, I can see why these Afghan strains are such crucial building blocks for so many of the strains that we know and love. They're so complex. They have so many different things to offer that I imagine if you popped 1,000 of them or 100 of them or whatever, you could find a lot of different profiles, a lot of different leaners in there. I don't know. It just kind of really opened up my mind to the complexity of Afghan and why it is involved in so many of the genetics that we know and love today.
I couldn't agree more. And that's, I first started working with some of these sativa, hybrids, just because I stumbled upon them. Some really interesting ones came to the forefront, but I always wanted to work with these Afghan genetics. And once I got a chance to work with some real Afghans and hunt through, hundreds of seeds, you're right. There's just a lot of different profiles in there. A lot of different, there's more lanky phenos. There's more OG type, phenos. There's more stout phenos. There's like fat, elephant ear leaves. And there's everywhere in between. There's like that the mustiness, the gassiness, the incense, the mint, a lot of these flavors that you really just don't get from a lot of these sativas, the Afghan has a lot to offer. So when I say that we're going to, stop at F2s and a lot of things, I remember, last time we had a conversation, I was like, oh, you'll never see me go past F3s or whatever. I mean, Afghan, it's hard. It's going to be hard not to keep working.
But you're gonna work it. That's interesting, man. Working this line.
I'm gonna work plants that I feel deserve to be worked further. Whether those be crosses that we made, of our own that we want to make F2s of or whatever, or stuff that kind of gets presented to us and we want to work later down the line. It's just, the nose knows. I follow my nose. It's like I really do follow the things that I'm trying to smoke on. I'm trying to preserve. That's what's next on my list is whatever. And like right now, I'm not going to tell you everything I have planned, but I have about 3 things planned for this year, this upcoming year. And one of them we'll talk about here in a second. But my next year is pretty much planned out. But after that, who knows what's going to happen? I don't want to put a limit and say, oh, I'm never going to go past F3s, F2s on an Afghan line. Because like you said, man, the more I crack into these things, the more I find interesting stuff. We found got some Kim DI-95 cuts from Covert. We crossed the Afghan to it. And we got some phenos that, we're talking about skunk hunt later on here in the episode. These things smelled like fucking skunk with skunk and rubber cement. That's all I can describe it as.
Wow, man.
There was no sweetness. There was no creamy undertones. It was like, no, bro, in your face. A skunk has sprayed inside this thing of rubber cement. Now we're stirring it up in your face. That's what these things smelled like.
Damn.
One was more than the other, but out of a bunch of phenos we found, one was just unbelievable. And we'll be doing more work with that down the line, but that'll definitely be going into our skunk hunt.
Oh man. Yeah, we'll get into the skunk hunt in just a second here. Deep topic there.
No, exactly. But long story short, heirloom Afghan has a lot to offer, and we're going to talk about this upcoming Afghan punchline that we started talking about, and we kind of got diverted. But
let's do it, man. Let's go down the line. Sweet Dreams is the first one on this list. This is a Heart and Soil cross. Daydream Genie and Afghan Punch. That one sounds exciting.
Exactly. So you took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah. So we found 2 really nice phenos, and a lot of these things, if you see that it's one of our crosses, and even the Big Body's Body, we hunted these seeds in the last. I think we talked about it in the big giant pheno hunt that we were talking about, 700 seed plus. A lot of these are phenos were hunted and used in these lines.
That's cool.
So these were from 50, 100 seed pheno hunts of these genetics. So it wasn't just we popped a few seeds. No, we hunted these specifically to find the best in the breeders. So the Daydream Genie, 2 phenos. One of them was very Blue Dream, just like old school Blue Dream, but more gas and a little bit more sativa than I remember the leaf structure and stuff like that. But it finished, within 9 weeks, 8.5, 9 weeks.
Nice.
So the look of this thing looked very, big, broadly, big leaf, but pointy, and serrated, but lots of sweetness, lots of gas. The other one was very more of the Afghan leaning, so we used 2 different phenos in this cross, and it was musty incense, mothball, eucalyptus, very, very herbaceous, some pine in there, not really as much of the berries and sweetness that the other, Blue Dream possesses. But that was a fun cross to do. So that produced a lot of big, giant, healthy seeds,
man.
and a lot of them.
I think I think that the audience is going to be excited about that. Now, famously on the show, I did call Blue Dream kind of a one-dimensional flavor, and it got a lot of people up in ire. And I always clarify. I said I like Blue Dream. Dr. Coco was the one who said he didn't like it. I like lots of one-dimensional flavors. If it smells just like coffee, I love it. Anyways, there are definitely different leaners there, and combining it with the Afghan is going to be interesting if you can get some of that. That's just going to be an interesting one to grow. If you can get some of that Blue Dream resistance and that sort of thing.
I like Blue Dream. The reason I started working with Blue Dream originally and got the old school Santa Cruz Blue Dream cut is it's resistant to PM.
Fuck yeah.
So in Colorado, we have a lot of issues. A lot of growers have a lot of issues with PM. A lot of facilities do. That's why you see a lot of Blue Dream pumped out of Colorado, because it's not as susceptible to PM, and you can grow it and high yields. You know, the THC is moderate, but I'm hoping if we hit it with this, Afghan, we can get that THC up. But like, I love a lot of things about Blue Dream, and I think people just got tired of it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
I agree.
Just like you said, there's a lot of different weed out there, but it's got a lot of good qualities.
Yeah, I think it could have gotten overplayed, It's like this. It's like the Cypress Hill syndrome. I always said if Cypress Hill didn't get overplayed, they'd be considered like one of the greatest. I mean, they still are considered one of the greatest hip hop groups.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the overplayed aspect. It has nothing to do with the quality of the product.
Right. So yeah, I'm with you Blue Dream fighters. There's a lot of terpenes in there, and a lot of if you're a home grower, or even if you're a black market or commercial grower, that Blue Dream hits, and Blue Dream feeds the light bill and everything like that. So we're hoping to bring a lot of those good qualities out and just make something new, bring a little bit of gas, bring a little bit of grape lavender, something different to it. But
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get it. If you know Blue Dream, we're hoping to just turn Blue Dream on its head and give it a little bit more.
That's going to be fun, man.
Exactly.
That's going to be a good one. I don't think we can highlight all of these in depth, unfortunately. We'll go down the line. Maybe I can be a little bit.
And maybe you can pick a few.
Yeah. So let's just make sure everyone hears it, though. I do like the name on the next one, the Rock the Casbah, and that's the Peruvian Pinata by Afghan Punch. You also have the Diamond Dunes, which is your Platinum Prospector by Afghan Punch. One that I would like to focus on here is the next one, though, getting a lot of attention, the Gas Guzzler. Yep. This is the Big Body Gelati by Afghan Punch. And a lot of people got on this Big Body Gelati because of that promo you were doing. A bunch of GrowCast members got their hands on this strain and really enjoyed that BBG. So, yeah, we're excited for the Gas Guzzler, man.
Yeah, that's going to be a nice one. We hunted 100 seeds for this one, big giant tray of seeds, and it was hard to choose. I mean, if you've gone to Big Body Gelati, you know that there's not a dud in the pack. And we found what we felt was the best one out of those 100 seeds that weren't male. We didn't keep any males, which there were some amazing looking males in there. But yeah, so that was a well hunted female used in that cross. And then we'll go down the line. Ancient Alien Mac 1 crossed to Afghan Hindu Kush, which was then hit to our Afghan Punch.
Oh God, that's the one that interests me the most.
Yeah, that one's going to be, our Freakin' Sweet, which was the Freak Show cross, is already sold out, but this Ancient Alien will be the next to go. It's going quick, and there wasn't a whole lot of stock of it. Whew. But the Mac 1 Afghan Hindu Kush cross that we selected was very unique. It looks like Mac in a lot of ways with its structure. It's like conical structure, but very gassy. Lots of purple hues, very dense buds. But if you've grown Mac before, the shape of the buds and the structure is very dense, rock hard. That's this one, but more purple. Mac is also very doughy, which there's a lot of doughiness, a lot of creaminess, vanilla, frosting, I like to say. But then there's also like skunk and some turpentine, some gas. So this one's really interesting. I'm keeping a lot of these for myself and for the Heart and Soil team to hunt through and hopefully do F2s down the line. So
hell yeah,
that's going to be a crowd favorite for sure. This next one, Low Valley Lemonade, is one of my personal favorites. I think it's going to blow people's socks off. The terps on this one are just unbelievable. Really, the Sucker Pucker Punch is one of my favorites that we've really ever done. Let's see,
it's a Peruvian Punch, right?
Yes, it's from the Peruvian Punch line. So it's from the Peruvian Punch second wave. That's what I was looking for. Peruvian Punch second wave. It's sour lemon sherbet across the Peruvian Punch.
Ooh.
And it is clementine, lemon haze, all rolled into one with like lots of candy notes, just lots of strong. You're going to get a lot of brightness off of these. Even when you mix them with the Afghan, there's just no denying that this is going to be one of the most terpy crosses of the entire line. So I know some people were like waiting for this episode. They've even messaged me like, "Hey, I want to listen to go through these lines and figure out which ones I want." this is one you want for sure.
Low Valley Lemonade, the Sucker Pucker
Low
Punch
Valley
Afghan
Lemonade,
Punch.
Sucker
I
Pucker
apologize. I may have said earlier in this episode Afghan Kush instead of Punch. So I do apologize if I
No,
accidentally
okay.
said that.
There are some Afghan Kush crosses in here. That's why it might get a little confusing. And then, so the Friendly Fire, we'll kind of jump around. The Friendly Fire is a curveball. So the Friendly Fire is Landrace Siberian Super Auto across the Afghan Kush, Afghan Hindu Kush, which we did earlier. And we took those seeds. We found that the two of the most autoing varieties. Some didn't auto as much as others. These do about 2.5, 3 feet tall to start to auto, and we cross that to Afghan Punch. These Siberian Super Autos are very interesting. The reason they call them Super Autos is they get a lot bigger than most auto plants. So they get sometimes 2, 3, 4 times bigger than traditional autos. We're more on the sativa leaning side. That's why we crossed it to that heirloom Afghan Hindu Kush to kind of bring it, look the structure a little bit more and bring the flowering time a little bit down. Once you put this thing in the flowering room, I usually veg them out, like I said, to about 2.5 to 3 feet tall, and they start to show their pistils, push really hard. You put them under 18.6, they'll push even harder. And then if you put them under 12.12, they will take off, and those plants will be done in 8 weeks.
Wow.
And they're really interesting because they have a lot of like indica terpenes, like leather and like just mustiness and gassiness, but they look like a sativa, and they're just interesting. So, like you said, that's when you're going to be excited to see. Well, I'm going to be excited to see all the different phenos. There's going to be a lot of different phenos in this one. And keep us posted.
Ooh, yeah,
the Friendly Fire is going to be interesting.
That's truly exotic, my friend. The Landrace Siberian Super Auto. What did we miss there? We just missed one Minty Mountain Mist.
We skipped over Freakin' Sweet and Minty Mountain Mist. So Freakin' Sweet is Freakshow BX4 F2 plus Afghan Punch, and that one unfortunately went really quickly, and we didn't have a whole lot of seeds of it. If you're familiar with Freakshow at all, the seeds, if you've ever bought the seeds before, they're like white. A lot of these seeds they don't look good.
Right.
And Hardened Soil Project, we don't like to put out even like borderline interior products.
Sure.
So like this is a new strain that we're working with breeding, and we want to put out the best. So we kept anything that was even questionable. And we kept a lot of good ones too. But we'll be making F2s in the future, and we're gonna stock up, hopefully do a big round. So when we do drop, an F2 of this, that everyone's gonna get a chance to get it. So, my apologies. I know a lot of people wanted it, but we wanted to make sure that we could do F2s of it basically, and be proud of the product that we put out. We didn't want to like do a lot of refunds or do a lot of exchanges. We wanted to make sure that you guys were happy with the seeds you bought. So this is just one that hopefully we will perfect in the future. So thank you for the support. I'm sure some of you grabbed them. So and then the Minty Mountain Mist is Mint Affogato from our last Afghan line. So Mint Affogato is gelato mint crossed to Afghan Hindu Kush, the original Afghan Hindu Kush that we did, crossed Afghan Punch. We saw a lot of mint terps out and eucalyptus and basil-y almost, terpene, very like herbaceous. We're getting a lot of these crosses from the Minty Mountain Mist, and we're hoping that kind of translates with the Afghan Punch, because Afghan Punch has a lot of like menthol behind
nice.
it, so the menthol mixed with the mint, we're hoping a lot of these phenos really do live up to their Minty Mountain Mist name. That's the goal here, is a wide range of terpenes. But that's going to be one of my favorites. I can tell. I like that nighttime herb. It's hard to find. I mean, you can find indica just about anywhere, but stuff that has really good flavor like that, it's hard to come by. So we're hoping to find some interesting phenos and let us know what you come across.
I do like those mint strains, an underrepresented terp, I would say. Not many underrepresented terps. Gas always hot, sweet always hot, skunk, making a big push right now. I feel there are a couple maybe overlooked or thrown by the wayside terps. We've talked about pine before. You don't really see many people working with pine very much right now. We've talked about coffee. There's only a handful of people working on coffee. Chocolate is another one that I feel is a little less worked on. I would put mint in that category. I don't see a lot of mint. Check out these mint terps. I'm hunting these mint terps. They're out there, but you don't see a lot of people hunting them.
Yeah, it's tough to hunt specific terps sometimes, but once you kind of get on a line like a bloodhound kind of thing, once you get on the scent, it's hard to get off, some of these things. So hopefully we can just follow some of these phenos. So hopefully more of the phenos will be of that terpene profile. Because right now, obviously we're gonna hope for mint, but like it's easily going to turn out to be pine or eucalyptus or other expressions as well, which are awesome. So
yeah, I feel you though. You got to follow the nose. Speaking of which, you are a bloodhound on the trail. Skunk hunt is on. # skunk hunt 2021. You are hunting skunk. You hear all this talk about real skunk and there's no skunk left and all of this craziness. So talk to me about what you're trying to do with your Heart and Soil project. Skunk hunt.
Yes, actually talking to Covert about it. He's always been the proponent for gas and for like rank terps. I mean, I'm sure he's come across a lot of skunk, terps in his day. And whenever we do dabs, like I'm always more the fruity one. I want like the sweet terps or like the creams and the this and the that. And he's always into the gas. And he asked me, he's like, "Why, Brett? Why are you doing this skunk hunt?" And I was like, you know what? I wanted to find all the terps. I was smoking some. It was actually a cross. But it was called Hollywood Skunk. It was like GMO and like LA Kush or something like that. And it really did have a nice like skunkiness to it, like a sweet skunkiness. And not all gas strains are overwhelming. There's like blends to everything. So I guess my answer to him was like, I don't want to lose any terps. Like you like the gas terps. There's all obviously like most people like gas terps. Just because I don't doesn't mean somebody else doesn't want it. And like it is in like the realm of our mission of preservation, like hunting these skunk terps and like preserving these skunk terps. So like it was like a long answer and long discussion I had with him just like a day or two ago about like why I was doing this and obviously it's part of it's like people say it's gone like oh, don't even bother, don't even waste your time. Like it's not even there. Like that makes me want it more. Like, oh, it's really, like, you really think it's not there? Like, oh, what if I find it? Wouldn't that be cool? Like like all these people. So it's like we got a lot of different phenos and a lot of different packs to hunt through. Now none of them are the original roadkill skunk. None of them are the original Archaea. None of them are, not none of them, but we got seedsman genetics. We got whatchamacallit, Skunk One.
Yeah, ag seed code, right? Didn't you get up some ag seed code?
So that's another. So we got the original from Seedsman. I'm gonna pull all these out of here.
We can hear the packs rustling.
I hear packs rustling. So yeah, we got the original Seedsman genetics. Skunk One. So we got that like from them. We also got the feminized version. We also got the F2 version, just like the one you're talking about, Skunk One. It's authentic genetics, worked version of Skunk One. So he picked all his own phenos, and that's some of what I've been told is some of the more original and authentic, just like the name suggests, some of the most authentic skunk genetics that you can find. So we got those. We got something interesting called Uncle Fester's skunk. So Uncle Fester's skunk F2. So Uncle Fester's skunk, which is Colombian Gold, Mexican Sativa, and Afghani.
Wow.
So those are going to be interesting. We got, let's see, we'll go through the line. We got Skunk Tamale, which is Michigan skunk dairy farmer cut across the Starfighter.
Ooh.
We got something called Bigfoot Dick from Vault Builder.
Oh, that's
Vault
right.
Builder, yeah, so Vault Builder works for the roadkill skunk. So he's got something called Bigfoot Dick, which is pure Michigan, number 2, across to roadkill skunk, and then something called Sex Panther, which is a different pheno of the pure Michigan. So pure Michigan number 1 across the roadkill skunk. And he gave me the write-up and description on all of these. And
wow,
they sounded amazing. But anybody who names something Bigfoot Stick and Sex Panther, and that's, if anybody doesn't know, that's a direct reference to Anchorman.
Right.
So that's Anchorman reference. And he's okay in my book then.
I love that, dude. Yeah, and the Pure Michigan in there, you got to be stoked on that. Holy shit.
Yeah, Pure Michigan. Exactly. And then his go-to here is the 60th skunk crossed to roadkill skunk.
Oh, nice.
So between those three, I'm pretty sure we'll find something stanky. We have, let's see here. We have something called Putrid Skunk by TNT Genetics. And Putrid Skunk is Skunk 1 crossed to roadkill skunk.
Ooh.
So that has the RKS in it.
Okay.
So that's going to be interesting to work through. What else we got in here? Skunk 1, it's a 1988 reproduction of it's by Flannel Genetics, so West Valley Seeds and Flannel Genetics.
Huh.
So they have a different version of Skunk 1. So basically, we have I think 5 different versions of Skunk 1. So we're really looking through the skunk genetics to find what's in there. So we've talked to a lot of people, and there's a lot of different other ones. Headband, Dominion Seed Co.
Oh, hell yeah.
Across to Skunk 1.
Nice.
That's going to be interesting. We have the infamous, whatchamacallit's name? Boss Pack.
You got the Boss Pack.
By Blue Sky Vienna.
Yes.
I got a lot of hate by even putting his name in my mouth at the situation.
Oh, man. Listen,
you shouldn't even bother running genetics.
Right? If you're hunting skunk, that man has positioned. Listen, I'm not going to disparage anyone on air here. I think you could probably draw your own conclusions. But that man has positioned himself in such a hilarious place.
It's a bad way. He put himself in a bad way, and I wish nothing. I wish him nothing but the best.
Just silly. Hey, watch out for the flies. Sorry.
Oh God! If we got a lot of those packs here. I won't even go through everything. Appalachian Super Skunk across the Colombian DI-95. That'll be an interesting one. And then we have a few more on the way from Cincy Seeds and some old school stuff like Dutch Masters. They're coming over from the UK, so it's just taking a little bit longer. So we'll be actually starting to pop these seeds here in probably about 2 to 3 weeks, hopefully, when some of these other things arrive. We're going to do a big, giant pheno hunt and try to find males, females, the whole thing. We got some original Afghan in here mixed with some black Afghani skunk, some old school stuff, new school stuff you've never heard of. So it'll be a little mix of everything. We really are trying to, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 19 packs, 20 packs, 21 packs of seeds right here, plus more are coming. So we really are going to do a big skunk hunt, mainly because people say that there's no skunk.
Well, can we kind of dive into that? I mean, maybe we can get serious here for a second and talk about the reality of the situation, or at least our take on it. We'll be back with Brett in just a moment, but before that, GrowCast membership. That's right, you've heard about it before. What are you waiting for? Come and join up. GrowCast membership is the best. Not only do we have the Discord, where we can solve any of your plant problems that you have in our Plant Problems channel, but also where we're doing tons of contests and giveaways and sharing our successes with Growmies, meeting friends, Growmigos. It is the best. There is no doubt about it. It is the best community in cannabis cultivation. We focus on uplifting each other as growers, not bickering and fighting over the minutia, and we have so much fun in the community. We're live every single Wednesday night for GrowCast TV. There's hours of interactive video content up at patreon.com/GrowCast, and that's all from the GrowCast TV live streams and the Ask Me Anything live streams. Again, there's so much more in membership, too much to say here, between the member podcast and the weekly live streams, the genetics for members. So much going on. You got to check it out. Patreon.com/GrowCast. Best membership in cultivation, baby. What are you waiting for? Come get a piece of it. Come get a taste of the action. You'll never go back. Patreon.com/GrowCast. That's Patreon.com/GrowCast. And if you join before the end of the month here, I'll refund your first payment so you can check it out for a couple of days. Cancel if you don't like it. But I know you're going to love it. That's right. Patreon.com/GrowCast. Come on into GrowCast membership, everybody. Your new Grow family awaits. All right, let's get back to it with Brett. When you talk about there is no skunk left or where's the pack of skunk, I almost feel that points to a fundamental misunderstanding of how aromas and cannabis genetics work. Meaning, if you're after skunk, you're not after a strain. You're after a combination of a terpene profile, and my understanding is that, thiols play a role, and I'm sure that, flavonoids play a role, but basically this cocktail and combination of the correct levels and the correct types of terpenes, thiols, and all of these compounds that we're after, and then also importantly, nothing extra, right? If you just want skunk spray, you're after these specific in a blend that remind you of skunk spray. You're not literally growing fucking skunk piss.
No,
yeah, just it's the same way. And by the way, a lot of these compounds are exactly the same. Alpha pinene is in both pine trees and cannabis. There are a lot of compounds that are in both coffee and cannabis. But the point is, there is a kind of disconnect between this pack is skunk versus I am after the skunk profile that could express itself from a variety of genetics, because that's how plants work, especially cannabis plants. And just because you find it in that pack doesn't necessarily mean the next one you pop is going to be the same. It's going to take some hunting. It's going to take some working.
Right.
I don't know. Did that all make sense right there? It doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
It's a fundamental flaw in the thinking.
If the question that you asked yourself, I would have given you the same answer. It's like, well, what are we doing here? Like, we're looking for the skunk terpene. Like, there's phenos in packs that have skunk terpenes and don't.
Right.
Some that are on varying levels of. When you buy a skunk pack, and everyone knows this, you're buying the chance and the hope of finding a skunk pheno. When you buy like grape gelato, not every seed's gonna taste like grape gelato, but one of them might.
Right.
That's the idea. And just like you said, we're hunting down terpenes here. We're not hunting down a reproduction of a certain type of seed that was grown by one guy in 1999, or 87 or whatever, So yeah, I'm with you. And I think that's part of like what I'm doing. I'm doing this for a lot of reasons. I love pheno hunting. That's the reason I'm doing this. It's a pheno hunt. It's a lot of fun for me. But also, it's like I wanted to go in a direction that was like on brand too, because I feel like this is kind of the American, pheno hunting, and not American, not American heirloom. It's heirloom. They're heirloom genetics.
Oh, I love that.
So, there's, haze too. There's cheese. There's sour, and there's things that are heirloom to our certain areas. Whether that's UK, Canada, America, or what you're, East Coast, West Coast, whatever. It's like, but I feel like preserving some of these things, that we all remember as kids growing up, and young adults, and and hopefully now, like those flavors bring us back. They're memories. Like scent is one of the most powerful connections to like our psyche.
Yeah, it is the closest.
You feel good. And you remember that feeling, and you remember where you were that day, and you remember that taste. Like afgoo, the old school afgoo is like one of those for me. I remember smoking that and like going and cutting lawns back in the summer, and I was just a lawn cutting machine with that stuff, And I'm looking for that terpene, and like I think a lot of people are looking for those skunk terpenes again. And I want to taste skunk. I like sweet skunk, Well, I like rank skunk. It just depends on what mood I'm in, but when you're looking for terpenes, you can't. I don't think you should isolate, your palate. You should really. I want to be able to offer things that everybody wants, not just sweet or spicy or berries or whatever the things I like. I think skunk is one of those things that it can be overlooked, and it is a terpene. It's not a brand. Skunk. They used to call it skunk weed because all weed used to smell like skunk.
Right. No, good point.
It wasn't just, they didn't call it skunk weed because one guy grew skunk and like passed that clone around everybody. It's like, no, like a lot of old school Colombians, Thais, Afghan crossed it.
Expressed that way.
Have those.
No, that's true too, but also expressed that way in those locations. Like it really does come down to, we are dealing with a plant here. And you may take the same exact genotype and grow it in Florida, and it'll express differently. So like really, you're right. It's not a brand, and it's also not like an actual splicing of the skunk animal. Like that's literally how some of these people talk. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I want it to be like dead animal carcass.
Like you get the machine from The Fly, and you put like a living skunk in one end and then a cannabis cut in the other, and you fucking hit go. Like now that's an idea. I'm smoking now. That's where we're at, everybody.
Yeah, that's how that's the next step. I think is like people just creating whatever terpenes they want. But yeah, that's the next project is the skunk hunt. And, people are excited about it. Some people are. Everyone's up in arms. Like you said, I think it was a funny image you put in my head last time. It was like a bunch of like people were like pitchforks and
torches
and torches going skunk.
Fucking skunks running terrified.
Some people are all about it, but then some people like there's always like that couple of people. Don't even waste your time. Don't even waste your time. Like if I did this for you guys, I did this. For myself, if I was to listen to every single person that told me what to do, like it wouldn't be Hard Soil Company, that's for sure.
Never play to the gallery. There's a great David Bowie video.
Hey, respect to the gallery. We need the gallery. Seriously, like we need all that. I need those opinions. The opinions are great, but I'm at the end of the day, like I got to follow my heart.
Yeah, that's true. You also got to give them. You got to tell them what they want. Like I love. That's what we try to do with GrowCast, man. Was like I see the cannabis industry. I see how much baggage and BS and hostility and division is attached to this thing that just doesn't need to be there. So I feel like I try and tell them what they want, which is why don't we just focus on the plant? That's one of the reasons we vibe so much, Brett, is because our mission is similar in that way. We don't really we put the plant first. We don't really take ourselves ultra seriously. And you try to help others grow this plant a little better. You try to get them some genetics that they might like. Simple missions where you can really help people. And again, remove all the baggage and remove all the bull crap and the drama. If you just do that and then hand them a product, I've found it works pretty great. And I love the audience that I've cultivated and love the membership that we've cultivated. And so rarely there's pushback. And I say, go follow another show. So it's just really interesting, but I do know what you mean. You gotta be so great. You gotta be so grateful for the following.
I want to make sure people feel heard too. I don't want people to think I'm not like I don't want to listen to their ideas.
That's so true. Yeah.
No, but I'm with you. It's like respect to the plant, number one, and respect to the people, and then hopefully, if we can all vibe on that, great. If you can't, keep scrolling.
Yeah, I really like that. I like that, man. And I also like you said, as far as like people being heard, I like how the project is kind of like you've positioned this brand as kind of like, you've said it before on this show, other people do kind of pitch in and can pitch in and give their thoughts and ideas. So that's a good point. You've got a very collaborative effort going on.
Yeah, they give, I've got a lot of these genetics either traded or people come, hey, you need to check out this guy.
Right.
And then, and a lot of times I check them out and sometimes I don't want to buy their seeds for whatever reason, or they don't have any seeds available or whatever. But like, I take people's like recommendations to heart, and their ideas to heart. I think that's my big thing about, you kind of hit on the head. Like I try to make this a collaborative effort because it's like the Heart and Soil project. Like we're not done. We're not done, guys. And hopefully it goes past me, it's like, hopefully we're never done. It's just like, all right, let's just keep going. Like make everything that, make this plant, the process, the community, the best we can. And I appreciate you for being a big part of that. So thanks for giving me
of course,
a small voice in the matter,
Well, I mean, it really is my pleasure because, like I said, our mission is simple, try to help people grow better plants. I don't care if you're growing whatever strain. I don't care if you're growing auto or photo or Landrace or BSV or whoever. Like you can grow whatever you want as long as you are for the plant and not here to tear down other people, other people's opinions, other people's methods. As long as you're here to lift up other people, then that's what we stand for. And you have time and time again showed that you are for the community and you are for the growers. I'll stop blowing smoke now, Brett. But
yeah.
You know how it goes, man. Yeah.
No, I do. And you get passionate about it, and that's why you're in the position you're in, is because you're passionate about what you do, and hopefully that's why I'm in the position I'm in, because I'm passionate about what I do. And
I don't think there's any other way, man.
No, and we interact and vibe with like-minded people, and that's what GrowCast is all about. That's what Heart and Soil is all about. And like you said, mission's the same. So I'm pleasure to be part of it.
Well, let's tease something, or let's try to envision or manifest something right here on air. You're out mountain time. You're in Colorado, right?
I am.
We had a trip booked for, at the time of this recording, this month, October, in Colorado. And unfortunately that fell through. There was a couple people that we need to see while we're out there, specifically going to visit and work with mammoth microbes, and multiple things fell through. Stuff with start to finish fell through. So anyways, that trip got postponed, but we're looking at early 2022 now. We got to do a live collab or something, man. If I came out to Colorado, could we connect? Maybe I could, I don't know. You could show me around. We could take a look at the garden.
Oh yeah.
Meet up with Covert.
We could do a number of things. We could either do something in the garden, or we could like get out and go do something. I mean, I'm all about it. Go do a live podcast in like mountains and Vail or something.
Oh yeah. Now we're talking. Yeah. Let's do that, man. Cool. Yeah. Let's do some video content together. As soon as I get out to Colorado.
Around what month span were you thinking?
I'm thinking spring latest, but again, I don't want to say a date here on the podcast, because it gets in people's head, and then I end up changing things.
I know. We'll figure it out. There's 1,000 fun things to do here, and if we want to like make a show of it, we can like go do white water rafting, or fly fishing, or just hiking, or snowboarding if it's still season, or something fun. But yeah, we'll figure something out. I'm down. I'm always down to get out and have some fun, first of all. But yeah, we'll get some good video content somewhere other than plants. Those we can get those too, but we can get out.
Gotta get plants too, man.
Fun.
Yeah. We'll do it up. That looks that sounds like a fun time. So look forward to that, listeners, members. I appreciate you guys so much, everybody. Well, where can we send them, man? I feel like you're such a good friend of the show. I feel like I didn't properly plug everything, like Heart and Soil Project on Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, Instagram's great. All that's great, but we really need more people to start subscribing to our email list, just in case. Same reason Jordan does all the things he does off of Instagram, that he can. They're starting to censor us and do things like that. We just want to be ready. So B. Anderson at heartandsoilproject.com is my email. Feel free to reach out for any reason at any time for that. And we can also get you, if you don't want to subscribe to our email list, that's fine, but at least you have my email. But if you want to subscribe to our email list, just let me know via email or anyway, and we'll get you a link to join our email list. And we send out emails. We don't blast you like once a week or anything like that. It's usually like every 2 to 3 weeks when we have something actually worth mentioning, like a big sale or a drop or some sort of information. We try not to just drop sales and stuff like that all the time. Sometimes it's as little as every 4 weeks. So just to give you an idea, but that's the best way to stay in touch and get updated information. Best deals go to our email subscribers and our GrowCast listeners. But that's the best way to get a hold of us. But then also we're on Instagram at Heart and Soil Project and at Heart and Soil Seeds. We have both of those on there. So yeah, but then obviously, anybody who's listened to me on the show before knows buy one, get one free. If you are listening right now, if you're a GrowCast listener, you guys get buy one, get one free. You guys have blown up my business more than I can tell you. So you guys deserve buy one, get one free. So if you're listening to this episode or any future episode or any past episode, we have a sale going on or no sale going on, reach out, remind me you're a GrowCast listener, you'll get buy one, get one free. So that's always a deal I'll extend to you guys, because I'm happy to give away seeds. First of all, you guys grow them, which I really appreciate, or you give them to your friends to grow, which is even better, because it just cultivates that sense of community and and all that, which is awesome. I love my seeds being a prop in that game, so that's awesome. But then also, you guys, I think you guys you have a different vibe than a lot of Instagram or Facebook people that reach out. You guys you guys just have a different way about you, and I appreciate it. So
that's killer, man.
Small token of my appreciation. You guys get those deals. Just be sure to mention it, because sometimes I do forget. and I don't want to leave anybody hanging. Be like, oh, well, I'm a GrowCast listener. I didn't get the buy one, get one free deal. That happens. I'll send you a pack probably anyways, but just remind me so I can hook it up on the first go round. So
fucking killer, man. I love that. And just to tease it as well, Brett is very generous to the listeners and the members as well, man. We're giving away, I mean, we don't have to go there, but Brett has been so generous. We've given away so many packs of Heart and Soil at our membership. So support Brett, support GrowCast. We are one and the same indeed. And Brett, we appreciate you, buddy. This is it's always a pleasure, and it's always been such a fruitful collaboration whenever we work together.
Yeah, no, I know, and we can always talk each other's ears off. So we'll cut it short.
We'll save it for the next time. Yeah,
yeah, we'll save it for the next time. We were talking before the show even got started. He's like, wait, we haven't started yet. Stop. I'm like, oh yeah, well, we're just shooting the shit.
It's true, man.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to the next GrowCast TV. Or anything else you guys want to have me involved in. But thanks again for everything you do for the community. I know the listeners appreciate you. So,
well, yeah, man, 100%. Thank you, buddy. And then really quick about GrowCast TV, we're going to be streaming on YouTube just occasionally. I'm thinking once a month, or maybe we'll do half the show on YouTube. I don't know. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube, but we'll get Brett. He's on there all the time. So if you like Brett, you like Heart and Soil, at least subscribe to our YouTube. If not, hit up that membership portal because you're going to love GrowCast TV and everything. A lot of people still haven't seen it. A lot of people have like heard. Have you fucking seen it? Have you seen the set and Cambot and the live chat? It's a fucking blast, and Brett's a big part of that. But as he said, we gotta go here, folks. Thank you so much, all of you listeners, all of you members, everybody who supports Heart and Soil, and everybody who's growing cannabis. That's all for now. This is Jordan River and Brett from Heart and Soil Project signing off, saying to you, be safe and grow smarter. That's all for today, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to Brett from Heart and Soil. What a good friend of the show. Always hooking it up for the GrowCast listeners and the members. Shout out to AC Infinity. Before we wrap it up here, I am setting up my AC Infinity tent as soon as I hop off this recording. I'm so excited about it because, the AC Infinity makes the best fans in the game. Use code GrowCast15 for 15% off. But they started coming out with those thick, sturdy tents with the thicker poles and the thicker material for the walls. They started coming out with fabric pots. They've got scissors. They've got blue tinted glasses, whatever spectrum you need to block out. AC Infinity is simply killing it in the grow game. They're turning into your one-stop shop for setting up your garden indoors, and you want to use code GrowCast15 for a whopping 15% off. Anytime you use a GrowCast code, be sure to send it to us. Email contact@growcastpodcast.com or just hit me up in the Discord DM for members, or IG DM also works. Get us a snapshot of you using one of our codes. You're automatically entered to win free seeds each and every month. We got a drawing in just a couple of days here on the 1st. So use those codes and be sure to send them. Don't miss out on that monthly giveaway. All right, everyone, that's all for now. As I was saying, check out membership. It's time you joined. We're having so much fun. And that's over at Patreon. I'll see you there, or just stay tuned to this podcast. I appreciate you tuning in. I really do appreciate each and every one of you subscribers, and I encourage you to stay tuned for more GrowCast. We'll see you next time, everybody. Bye-bye.